Well, it's been more than a year since I've done a video on the smart car. I just had no problems with it. It's been running really smoothly until 2 days ago. So put the key in the ignition, put on the pedal as you normally do. Nothing. So, and this happened when I was at the tyre shop getting some tyres repaired. So plugged in my diagnostic tool, crankshaft position sensor A circuit, or P0335. So that's going to be our next job, because it's not moving until I do replace it, and it's not in a very accessible position. So let's get to it. So the first job will be to remove this throttle assembly. The actual sensor itself is buried right down in there, so to get to it I'm going to need to remove that. Undo this hose first, undo the throttle body, and then there might be just enough room. These pipes just unclip, come out of the way. So just down here, another Jubilee clip for the other end of that hose. There you go. Let's move that out of the way. So that's an E10. One. A few more to go yet though. Some quite difficult to get out ones in there, so take your time. The sensor lives, it's this thing here. And there's a bolt just to the side of it with a torque, and there's very little direct access, so it's going to be a struggle to get out. Once you've got the last of the bolts out, it should come out quite easily. So there still isn't direct access to the sensor, to the bolt that retains it to the right of it, so you'll need a couple of extension bars and a twisty head, something like that, to use your torque socket, and that will get you down to the socket and you'll be able to twist it out. I'm just going to get my magnet ready. So that's the one that's just come out. Pretty chewed up on the end. That's the replacement, but I definitely think that will not fit. That's different size barrel, different size shape altogether, so it's for a different smart car. They've given me the wrong one. So back to the shop, try again. So this is where the sensor is, and I need to replace it, and that's the hole just there. It's a very tight squeeze. So that's why you have to move all this pipe work out of the way. And then just to show you the new sensor, what it looks like, try and hold up both at the same time. So there you are, those old and new sensors. Bit damaged there. Right, so let's try and get it back in. It's not going to be long enough. I'm going to have to take my watch off. When you do get to the stage where you're putting the sensor back in, make sure that that hole does line up with the hole that will take the bolt. If it doesn't, it's very, very difficult to twist it and line it up in position once you've got it in. It's almost impossible, so make sure that's lined up before you do put it in. So this is the throttle bottle assembly. When you're putting these bolts back in, don't rush with the spanners. Do everything up as close as you can by hand, and then just nip these up. These shouldn't be tight. There's a little washer here. Not a washer, is it? It's a bit like an O-ring, I guess, but it's just that seal that's creating the seal. You don't need to squash that to death. To do everything up by hand first, get as much as you can. This is only a little rubber O-ring type seal, so it doesn't need to be tight, just needs to be nipped up so that it makes a seal. No more than that. I always line these up so it's easier for me to get to. Don't hide them down there. And now I need to get the Jubilee clip underneath the car. So I put the diagnostic tool on. These are readily available on Amazon. This particular one, I'll leave the link below. They're only about £25, but they are worth their weight in gold when you're trying to find out what the problem is with a car. So if we click read codes, so it says no codes are stored, so all good. We've now resolved the issue with the crank speed sensor, and now we can move on, which I think the issue is probably going to be with the starter motor. So I'm going to take a look at that. I'll see you in the next one. Please give me a thumbs up. Bye for now.